a promise in the shadows. Once upon a time, in a village nestled in a misty valley, there lived a miller named Anselm, whose debts piled up like dust on his sacks of flour. In desperation, he sought to marry his only daughter, Eleanor, a young woman of pale and melancholic beauty, to the king of the neighboring realm, a man known for his insatiable ambition and heart of stone. To entice the king, Anselm, in a moment of madness, swore that his daughter possessed an extraordinary gift. She could spin straw into gold. Intrigued by this promise, the king summoned Eleanor to the palace. Trembling, she was locked in a cold tower where a mountain of straw awaited her. "Turn this into gold by dawn, or you and your father will be executed," the king commanded, eyes gleaming with an inhuman greed. Alone in the darkness, Eleanor wept, her tears falling onto the straw. She had no power, no means to perform such a miracle. Then, a shadow stretched across the corner of the room. A misshapen figure, no taller than a child, emerged from the gloom. Its eyes glowed like embers, and a twisted smile contorted its face. "I can help you, little one," rasped the imp, its voice like gravel. "I'll spin this straw into gold, but everything has a price." Cornered, Eleanor agreed without hesitation. The imp set to work, its clawed fingers dancing over the straw, which transformed into shimmering threads of gold under the moonlight. At dawn, the king entered, dazzled by the wealth before him. He married Eleanor on the spot, not out of love, but out of greed. Each night, he locked her in the tower, demanding more gold. Each night, the imp returned, and Eleanor, terrified but trapped, let it work. But one evening, the cunning imp whispered, "To continue, I want a heavier promise. Your firstborn will be mine." Desperate, Eleanor agreed, thinking that day would never come. Years passed. Eleanor gave birth to a son, a child with eyes as clear as a winter sky. The king, obsessed with gold, cared neither for the child nor his queen, but the imp had not forgotten. One night, when the moon was red as blood, it appeared in Eleanor's chamber, its claws grazing the cradle. "The time has come," it hissed. Eleanor begged, wept, offered all the gold in the kingdom, but the imp remained unmoved. Pact is a pact. In a surge of despair, she tried to outwit it, proposing a deal. Guess its name in 3 nights. As in old legends. The imp, amused, agreed, certain she would fail. But Eleanor was not alone in hearing the whispers of the shadows. A servant, an old woman with clouded eyes, knew the secrets of the dark. She told Eleanor she had seen the imp dancing in the forest, singing its name, Rumpelstiltskin. On the 3rd night, when the imp returned, Eleanor spoke its name. A scream tore through the air, and the imp, enraged, vanished in a burst of flames. But the victory was short-lived. The ground trembled, and a far more sinister presence filled the room. A deep voice, like a rumble from the earth's core, murmured, "Rumpelstiltskin was my servant. He broke his pact, but mine is eternal." The devil himself rose, a towering silhouette, his horns scraping the stone ceiling. He revealed that Rumpelstiltskin had never acted alone. Every thread of gold, every favor had been woven by a greater power. And Eleanor had sealed her fate with her first promise. The devil did not want only the child. He wanted Eleanor's soul, bound to him by the original pact. Each night he returned, invisible, but his icy breath brushed her neck. Mirrors in the palace cracked as he passed, candles flickered out, and whispers filled the corridors. King, oblivious to the danger, continued to hoard his gold. But Eleanor saw shadows dancing in every corner, claws scratching beneath her bed, glowing red eyes in the dark. One night, unable to bear the terror any longer, Eleanor took her son and fled into the forest. But the forest itself seemed alive, branches curling like fingers around her, wolves howling words she understood. "You cannot flee a pact," the wind sneered. At the heart of a circle of black stones, the devil awaited. "And your soul will be free," he said, his voice smooth as poison. Clutching her son, Eleanor refused. The ground split open, and spectral hands surged forth, dragging her child into the darkness. Eleanor screamed, diving after him, but she never reached the bottom. She fell into a void where twisted faces watched her, where voices sang of broken promises. Her sun vanished, and the devil whispered, "You are mine, for eternity." Next day, the king found the tower empty, save for a pile of straw stained with blood. It is said that on certain nights, in the misty valley, one can hear a woman's sobs, mingled with the laughter of an imp and the rumble of a voice from the abyss. And in the palace, the gold still glitters, but those who touch it swear they feel a burn, as if every thread bears the mark of a cursed pact.